Hey everyone! Today I've got an interesting story to share with you all. Are you ready to hear it? The story is titled, Elon Musk Silences Vegas Heckler with Epic Tech Speech. Elon Musk, a man whose very name conjured images of rockets piercing the stratosphere and electric vehicles silently gliding into the future, had recently embarked on a new, perhaps equally audacious, mission. Appointed as Las Vegas's chief innovation officer, his task was nothing short of a technological overhaul, a mandate to drag the glittering city, with its ingrained penchant for the old-fashioned, kicking and screaming into the 21st century. And knowing Elon, probably a good chunk of the 22nd as well. But even for a man who dreamed of colonizing Mars, the mundane realities of earthly schedules could prove stubbornly resistant. His internal clock, often synchronized with the orbital mechanics of distant planets, had betrayed him. The digital display on his phone glared 9:45 a.m., a mere 15 minutes shy of his scheduled keynote address at the bustling Innovate Vegas conference. His ambitious plans for a city-wide hyperloop, promising to whisk tourists from the Strip to the Hoover Dam in mere minutes, and a fully sustainable energy grid powered by an array of solar panels whimsically shaped like giant playing cards, were all hanging in the balance. The morning had been a masterclass in Murphy's Law, starting with a rogue AI managing his smart home thermostat that decided a desert chill was the optimal temperature for a pre-keynote breakfast, followed by a minor but significant incident involving a prototype self-folding breakfast burrito that had malfunctioned with surprising velocity, splattering its contents across his meticulously chosen, yet still casual, black t-shirt. He finally arrived at the cavernous Venetian Convention Center, slightly rumpled around the edges, his mind still a whirlwind of calculations regarding battery storage capacity and magnetic levitation speeds. He yearned for a precious few moments of quiet backstage, a chance to mentally rehearse his talking points and banish the lingering aroma of rogue breakfast burrito, but the opening act, a local stand-up comedian whose reputation preceded him like a desert dust devil, was still holding court, his gravelly voice booming through the speakers, punctuated by the raucous laughter of the early morning attendees. The comedian, a Las Vegas institution known as Crusty Carl, was a man whose comedic sensibilities had been honed in the smoky, dimly lit backrooms of old Vegas casinos, where the clinking of chips and the murmur of hushed bets formed the soundtrack of his early career. He was a relic, a throwback to a time before algorithms and analytics dictated humor. His jokes, like a well-worn deck of cards, were familiar yet comforting to his audience. A potent blend of observational humor seasoned with a healthy dose of self-deprecation and a playful cynicism towards anything that smelled faintly of newfangled. He was mid-joke, his voice dripping with mock incredulity. "They got these new self-driving cars, right?" he rasped into the microphone, his eyes twinkling with mischief as he scanned the crowd. "Says they're the future. The future. I tell ya, the only future I see is me tryin' to explain to a robot cop why I needed to make a U-turn in front of the Bellagio fountains at 3 a.m. A wave of hearty laughter rippled through the audience. He paused for effect, letting the chuckles die down before delivering his punchline with perfect timing. "And you know what that robot's gonna say? Sir, that is a designated dolphin viewing zone." The room erupted. Carl, basking in the warm glow of audience appreciation, spotted a figure lurking in the wings, a man with a somewhat disheveled air and an intensity in his gaze that seemed at odds with the casual attire he sported. Carl recognized him instantly. Elon Musk. Perfect. An irresistible target had just wandered into his comedic crosshairs. As the laughter subsided, Carl leaned into the microphone, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Now folks," he drawled, his voice taking on a conspiratorial tone, "we've got a real visionary in the house today. A fella who wants to build tunnels under our city." Tunnels. Last time I was in a tunnel in Vegas, it involved a wedding chapel and a questionable Elvis impersonator. A smattering of knowing chuckles rippled through the crowd, a distinctly different flavor than the outright guffaws that had preceded it. Elon, standing in the shadows, felt a prickle of irritation. He understood the nature of comedy, the inherent need for a target, but something about the casual dismissal of his ambitious projects, framed as nothing more than another quirky Las Vegas oddity, grated on his nerves. He mentally fast-forwarded to his presentation, envisioning the sleek animations of the hyperloop pods and the intricate diagrams of the solar energy grid, a stark contrast to the mental image of a dimly lit tunnel and a sequined Elvis that Carl's words had conjured. Undeterred, Carl continued his playful assault. And then there's the rockets. This fellow wants to shoot us all to Mars. Mars. Last time I went that far out of town, it was for a buffet that promised all-you-can-eat crab legs. Spoiler alert, they lied. The audience roared with laughter, the image of a hopeful journey to a distant planet hilariously juxtaposed with the disappointment of subpar seafood. Elon's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. He appreciated a good joke, he really did. His Twitter feed was a testament to his occasional foray into internet humor. But there was a time and a place, and with the clock ticking down to his presentation, the comedian's routine felt less like a light-hearted introduction and more like a deliberate attempt to undermine the very essence of his work. He took a step forward, a barely perceptible movement that nonetheless caught the eye of his harried assistant, who shot him a look that clearly conveyed the sentiment. Just 5 more minutes, please don't go full Mars launch on this poor guy. Carl, ever the showman, sensed a shift in the energy backstage. He knew he was treading the line between playful ribbing and outright antagonism, and the slightly strained smile on the face of the man in the wings suggested he was rapidly approaching the point of no return. With a final, theatrical flourish, he wrapped up his set. All right, folks, give it up one more time for yourselves, you beautiful, slightly hungover bunch, and get ready to hear from the future. Or at least a very enthusiastic sales pitch for it. The applause was warm, appreciative. Carl gave a quick bow and gestured towards the wings. Now, please welcome to the stage the man who promises to boldly go where hopefully the Wi-Fi signal is strong, Mr. Elon Musk. As Elon walked onto the stage, the transition was stark. The casual, joke-filled atmosphere seemed to dissipate, replaced by a palpable sense of anticipation. He offered Carl a tight, professional smile, which the comedian returned with a wink. The initial moments of Elon's speech were measured, carefully outlining the potential of his technological proposals. But then something shifted. Perhaps it was the residual irritation from Carl's set, or maybe it was the inherent passion he felt for his projects finally bubbling to the surface. He started speaking with a newfound energy, his initial stiffness melting away as he delved into the intricate details of his vision. He spoke of sustainable energy with an almost evangelical fervor, describing the solar playing cards not just as a quirky design choice, but as a symbol of Las Vegas's potential to embrace a brighter, cleaner future. He elaborated on the hyperloop with a level of detail that painted a vivid picture of seamless, high-speed travel, his words transforming the tunnels from Carl's punchline into arteries of innovation. And when he spoke of space exploration, of the potential for humanity to become a multiplanetary species, there was a genuine awe in his voice that even the most cynical audience member couldn't completely dismiss. By the time Elon concluded his presentation, the room was buzzing with a different kind of energy than the laughter Carl had elicited. There was a sense of possibility, a spark of excitement about what the future of Las Vegas might hold. Even Carl, who had been watching from the side of the stage with a critical but not unkindly eye, had to admit that the man knew how to deliver a compelling vision. As Elon stepped off stage, Carl approached him, a genuine smile on his face. "All right, Musk," he said, extending a hand. "You got me. Those solar playing cards. That's actually kinda brilliant." Elon shook his hand, a hint of amusement in his own eyes. "I figured even a seasoned Vegas veteran could appreciate a good gamble on the future," he replied. The tension that had simmered backstage had dissipated, replaced by a grudging respect, a recognition that perhaps even in the dazzling chaos of Las Vegas, there was room for both old-school humor and audacious innovation. The city, it seemed, might just be big enough for the both. The story offers several valuable lessons. The importance of staying calm under pressure. Even when faced with public criticism and personal frustration, Elon Musk maintained a relatively calm demeanor. This highlights the importance of composure in challenging situations. The unexpected power of humor, Musk's ability to engage with a heckler with wit, and even make a joke at his own expense, diffused a potentially negative situation and ultimately won over the audience. This shows how humor can be a powerful tool for connection and persuasion. Finding common ground in unexpected places. Despite their vastly different backgrounds and perspectives, Elon Musk and Crusty Carl were able to find common ground and even forge a partnership. This emphasizes the value of looking beyond surface differences to connect with others. The ability to turn negative interactions into opportunities. What could have been a disastrous keynote speech for Elon Musk turned into a viral sensation that ultimately benefited his goals for Las Vegas. This demonstrates the potential to transform negative experiences into positive outcomes. The value of passion and perseverance. Despite the heckling and the initial lukewarm reception, Elon Musk's genuine passion for his innovative projects ultimately shone through and resonated with the audience. This underscores the importance of unwavering dedication to one's vision. Humility can be a strength. Elon Musk, despite his immense success, was willing to be the butt of a joke and engage with his critic on their level. This suggests that humility can make even the most brilliant individuals more relatable and persuasive. Bridging the gap between innovation and tradition. The story highlights the potential for seemingly opposing forces, like cutting-edge technology and old-school entertainment, to find ways to coexist and even complement each other.